When did you realize you married the wrong person? It started with a phone call that shattered everything. At 11 p.m., my sister's voice on the line, frantic and breaking. Mom collapsed. It's bad. Ruptured aneurysm. They're rushing her into emergency surgery right now. The doctors, they say she might not make it through the night. My world tilted. I stumbled around the bedroom, shoving clothes, toiletries, and whatever else I could grab into an overnight bag, my hands trembling so badly I could barely zip it shut. Greg, my husband of 8 years, glanced up from his laptop where he was sprawled on the bed, still in his work clothes. It's Mom, I gasped. I have to go. Right now. He blinked slowly, like I'd interrupted something trivial. Wait, it's almost midnight. You can't just drive off like that. I have that big presentation at 9 in the morning, clients flying in from out of state. I froze, staring at him in disbelief. Greg, she might die tonight. My mom. I need to be there. He sighed, rubbing his temples. Yeah, I get it. You should go if it's that serious. Just, text me updates or something so I know what's going on. No offer to come with me. No hug. No, I'll drive you. Just that, practical, detached, like I was heading out for groceries. Desperate, I dialed Liam, my best friend since high school, the one person who always seemed to know when I needed him without me saying a word. He picked up on the second ring, his voice steady despite the late hour. Liam, it's my mom. Hospital. Aneurysm. I need to get there fast. I'll be at your place in 20 minutes. Pack what you need, I'll handle the rest. True to his word, Liam pulled into the driveway exactly 18 minutes later, his old truck idling quietly. Greg was still at the kitchen table now, sipping coffee like nothing was wrong. He looked Liam up and down with that familiar smirk. She's not thinking straight, Greg said to him, as if I wasn't standing right there. It's late, roads are dangerous. Maybe wait till morning. Liam didn't even acknowledge him. He just grabbed my bag from my hands, slung it over his shoulder, and nodded toward the door. Let's go. We walked out, and as we backed out of the driveway, I saw Greg silhouetted in the doorway, arms crossed, watching us leave without a single step forward. The drive was endless, for hours through the dark, winding highways. Liam didn't push for conversation, he just drove, steady and focused. Somewhere past the city limits, the weight of it all hit me like a wave. Tears came unbidden, choking sobs that I couldn't hold back. Without a word, he reached over, squeezed my hand firmly, and pressed the accelerator a little harder. No platitudes, no awkward pats, just quiet support that said everything. Meanwhile, Greg's text started pinging in almost immediately. You guys make it yet? Work's gonna be crazy in the morning, boss is on my case. Let me know when you hear something solid. Not once did he ask which hospital we were heading to. Not once did he inquire about Mom's condition or how I was holding up. It was all about him, his schedule, his inconveniences. I stopped replying after the third one. What was there to say? We stumbled into the hospital lobby at 4 a.m., the fluorescent lights harsh against our exhaustion. Mom had made it through the first surgery, but the prognosis was grim, 72 hours of touch and go, watching for complications like internal bleeding or strokes. The ICU was a maze of beeps and hushed voices, nurses rushing in and out. Liam dove in without hesitation. He took charge of the chaos, calling the insurance company to sort out coverage, grilling the doctors on details they tried to gloss over, jotting down every medication, every vital sign, every timeline in a notebook he'd grabbed from his glove compartment. He fetched blankets from the nurse's station when the waiting room chilled to the bone, brought in coffee and sandwiches from the cafeteria so we wouldn't starve, and made sure my sister and I took turns resting. He never left my side, not even for a bathroom break without checking in first. Greg finally called around 10:30 a.m., his voice chipper like it was any other day. Hey, how'd everything go overnight? She almost died on the operating table, Greg. They had to open her up again because of bleeding. Damn, that's rough. My presentation killed it, though, nailed every slide. Boss hinted at a promotion. Fingers crossed. I hung up, the phone slipping from my hand as anger boiled over. How could he? The days blurred into a nightmare of alarms blaring, oxygen levels crashing, and emergency interventions. Mom coded once, her heart flatlining for what felt like eternity before they shocked her back. Greg's messages kept coming, a steady drip of irrelevance. Fence guys coming tomorrow, should I reschedule? Out of milk, grab some on your way back. This is really stressing me out, you being gone like this. He even posted on social media, a selfie at his desk with the caption, tough week grinding solo. Wife's handling family drama out of town. Could use a vacation after this. Liam, meanwhile, crashed on a hard plastic bench in the waiting area every night, his tall frame awkwardly folded with legs dangling off the end, insisting my sister and I take the more comfortable chairs. He coordinated updates with extended family, argued with a specialist who was dragging their feet on a consult, and even remembered to bring my favorite granola bars because he knew hospital food would turn my stomach. On the third night, after Mom crashed again and they wheeled her back into surgery for what felt like the 100th time, I hit my breaking point. Slumped in a chair, head in hands, I felt utterly alone, until Liam sat beside me, his presence a quiet anchor. Greg chose that moment to call. "Babe, when are you coming home? The house is falling apart without you. I'm sick of eating takeout every night." I didn't even respond. Just ended the call and turned off my phone. Later, under the dim glow of the vending machine, Liam finally opened up. "I've loved you since we were 16, you know that. Back when we were just kids dreaming about the future. I never said anything because you chose Greg, and I respected that. But seeing this, watching him treat you like an afterthought while your world's crumbling. I can't stay silent anymore. You deserve better. Someone who shows up, no questions asked. Who doesn't tally up favors or make it about them. Someone who puts you first, especially when life hits hard." His words hung in the air, raw and honest. I didn't have an answer, not then, with my mind a whirlwind. But as I sat there, exhausted and heartbroken, the fog lifted. I saw our marriage for what it was, a one-sided partnership where I carried the emotional load, and he coasted. The next morning, Mom stabilized. She opened her eyes for the first time in days, her grip weak but real as she squeezed my hand. Her first whispered question, "Where's Greg?" "He couldn't make it," I said, the words tasting like ash. She gave me that knowing look, the one only a mother can, and closed her eyes again, sighing softly. That was the exact moment I realized I'd married the wrong person. Not just because of this one crisis, though it was the catalyst. But because in the darkest hours of my life, when I needed unwavering support, the man who'd vowed, in sickness and in health, was nowhere to be found. He prioritized his comfort, his routine, his ego. Meanwhile, the one who stayed, the one who'd driven through the night, held my hand through the sobs, managed the impossible without complaint, was never supposed to be in that role. Liam had been my what if all along, the path not taken. For the first time, I allowed myself to imagine a different life. One without the constant second-guessing, the emotional neglect disguised as independence. Divorce papers were filed 3 months later. And as for Liam? Well, sometimes the right person was there all along, waiting for you to see them. Life's too short for the wrong love. If you're reading this and it hits home, trust me, don't wait for a crisis to wake up.